Hi guys, welcome to Sharon's tutorials. Today I want to show you 3 quick ways of freezing columns and rows in Google Sheets. Okay, so the first way is using your mouse. So you'll notice in the top corner to the left of column A and above row 1, you'll see there's a thicker grey border here. And if you hover over the grey border, you'll notice that the mouse changes to a hand symbol. So if you left click the mouse when the hand symbol is there, and drag the border down to the line under row 1, it will freeze that top row. And if you want to freeze the top 3 rows, again, hover over the line, wait for the hand symbol to appear, click and drag it down, and the top 3 rows are now frozen. It's the same process if you want to freeze any of the columns. Hover over the line on the right hand side of that box till the hand symbol appears, click and drag, and you'll see it's frozen the first column. And again, if you want to freeze the second column, click and drag. So that's the first way. So another way of doing it is using the keyboard shortcut. So if you press Shift, Alt and V, it brings up the View menu, and you'll notice that certain letters in this menu are underlined. These are actual keyboard shortcuts. So if to get to the freeze option, if you press R, and it brings up the next list of options. And again, there's letters that are underlined, which are the keyboard shortcuts. So if you wanted to freeze the first 2 rows, you'd press W because that's the letter that's underlined. And you'll notice that the line is now under the first 2 rows instead. So that's now frozen. Alt, Shift and V brings up the View menu. R to freeze because it's the R that's underlined there. And if you wanted to freeze 1 column, press L. And you'll see that the first column is now frozen, and Alt, Shift and V to bring up the view again, R for freeze options. And if you wanted no rows frozen and no columns frozen, you'd press R to unfreeze the rows. And again, you'd press no columns is the C that's underlined, so you'd press the C and you're back to normal again. So that's the second way. The third way again is using the mouse and the menus across the top. So again, if you click on View across the top, go to Freeze, and you can freeze 1 row. Go to View, Freeze, and you can freeze 2 columns if you wanted to. If you wanted to get rid of them all, you'd do no rows, and again, no columns. And you'll notice when you click into it, you'll notice that the letters aren't underlined. So the keyboard shortcuts will only work when you go through the Alt, Shift, and V to get to the View menu. Another handy freeze option in the menu, if you have this cell selected here and go back into View and Freeze, you have one up to current row and up to current column, which is quite handy. So it basically freezes the rows above whichever cell is currently selected, and up to current column freezes the columns to the left of whichever cell is currently selected. So if I just do up to current column, and you'll see those 2 rows are now frozen. So there you have 3 very quick different ways of freezing rows and columns in Google Sheets. As always, let me know in the comments if you found this tip helpful. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with more tutorials that I post. And until next time, happy learning.